Hello, Steve. Hello, Joe. It's time to game classy.
Steve's now in the meeting.
Whoa ho, it's magic. You know.
I figured you just were asleep, so that's why it didn't bother you.
No. I was well awake and doing many things and various activities, and then I was like casually opened up Facebook Messenger, and like as I was opening up, I was like, ah, shit.
Always the way. No, I figured you just had a late night of partying and maybe debauchery of some kind.
No.
There's no debauchery with Steve anymore.
No. I believe my debauched times are behind me.
The debauched times are behind you?
Yeah, I believe so.
But what about the debauchery, Steve? The debauchery.
What about the dank? You can't get rid of the dank.
You can't get rid of the dank. Well. No, everybody, welcome to Game Classy. I am your host, Joe, and with me, as always, my co-host, Steve.
Yes, hello. I've actually got some relatively stuff to talk about.
Relative stuff to talk about.
Relative stuff. It's like various news headlines that are recent to not recent that we just haven't covered.
Really? I was gonna say, like, the only big news that I really had was the new Warmachine starter box.
That was one of the things for me. Yes, of course.
Okay, cool. So at least we're on the same page there.
Yeah.
But so let's talk about that first. Then I'll let you get your other points, unless there's something else that you think is much more pressing.
No. I think that's a great starting spot.
Yeah, it's Steamforge, and we've been talking about them, who bought out, which was at one point the biggest rival to Warhammer 40,000, if not beating. Did it ever actually beat it? I don't remember.
So there were a couple times where had Warmachine and Hordes not be recorded as separate games,
yes,
they would have beaten Warhammer.
I know, and it was really dumb for them to split those games. They should never have done that unless there was some tax reason.
I don't know. I do not know.
But yes, eventually, of course, Privateer Press sold off the rights to the Warmachine game.
Yeah, the Iron Kingdoms are now owned by Steamforged.
And like, look, there's a couple companies out there that if they had sold it to, I would have been like, yeah, this game is dead. But Steamforged has a history of putting out good games that people like.
True. That's true.
Most notably, they did Guild Ball, which, you know, people absolutely loved, and which I loved because they actually were like, you know what, we're done with Guild Ball. It's done. And they just canceled the line. And I'm like, that is like, takes such balls for a gaming company to do.
Yeah, people were not happy about that.
No, they weren't. And I was like, God bless them. Because that's what games need sometimes. Like, you know, I think we've talked about this before, especially pre-Old World. It's like, you're allowed to play any edition of a game you want to play.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you want to play with people, yeah, you're kind of hamstrung into, you know, playing a very specific. Yeah. Well, no, not even that, but a specific edition of Warhammer 40,000. It's not like you're going to be able to go like, hey, who wants to have a pickup game of 4th Ed?
True.
And then you find the person who wants to have the pickup game of 4th Ed, and you're like, I no longer want to play this game.
I've made a huge mistake.
Very much so.
But no, I mean, I like so here's the thing. I'm not going to try it. I'm not going to test it. I don't have interest in trying to get back into Warmachine again. I'm not going to go for like the 4th or 5th time to try and get into that game, or 6th time. I don't remember. I've stopped Warmachine quite a lot, so I'm not going to do that again. But I will say this: if these starter sets are not a fake, and you actually can play a legitimate game with this kind of configuration of models, I am very excited about Warmachine. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, so going off of what the release is, basically, it looks like in the box you're getting about the 10 figures and 2 jacks.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, and it's for Signar, which are the blue guys, and Kador, which are the red guys.
Mm-hmm.
Which I also like. I like that there's a blue team. I like that there's a red team.
Yes. Very nice setup for a starter set.
My only problem was there was never like a really good green team.
Crix was supposed to be the green team, but they painted them black.
Yeah, exactly. Like they had the Crix, they painted them black. They had the religious ones, I can't remember, Menoth, and they were white.
They were white. Mm-hmm.
Which I get. That's fine. You could do black and white. But there should have been a green team.
Yeah, I guess you have to go to Hordes for the green team, which
Yeah,
doesn't count.
I don't like that. I don't want that. I want a green armor team. But whatever.
Oh, you know what? The elves, the Redemption of Syra, they were the green guys.
They were kind of like metal though. They were like white and metal. It was blue. It's not a green team. There was no green team, Steve.
They were green. They were green.
There was some green on them. They weren't the green team though. Listen, man. You could do a red team. If you have a blue team, you got to have a red team. That just goes hands down. You're always going to have the red and the blue team.
They're all right. So they were like kind of green. I can see both. Okay. I will cede that they are not strongly enough green to be called green, but I would also say they're not strongly enough that like ceramic color to be called ceramic or white. I guess they're straight down the middle.
All right, maybe I'll give you that, but I'm going to stand firmly on the fact that they are not the green team. Yes, so there's the 10 guys that are being released for this box set. Mm-hmm. You get like some for Signar. You get some cool dudes with the Revolutionary War hats. We like to call them Alexander Hamiltons. You get some guy with some pistols. You get a warjack. It's got some guns and a big pointy fist. And you get a dude named Bastian Falk, who I believe was one of like the standard heroes for that army from like the before times, right? From their old world. If this is like Warmachine, Age of Sigmar. I
have not heard the name before, but I mean, I've been out of Warmachine for a while, so it could be wrong.
I'm gonna start just calling this the Age of Signar, just because it's close enough.
The Age of Machine.
No, Age of Signar instead of
Age of Signar. I like that. Okay.
Yes, you're like, haha, sensible chuckle.
that is definitely a front page headliner on Sensible Chuckle magazine.
Sensible Chuckle magazine. Oh, yes. So you have those guys for the Signar, and then you have for the Kador, you have a bunch of dudes with shields and machine guns, look really badass. You have a dude with an axe.
Yeah, it's like you have a hero, you have a small unit of something, you have a special character, and then you have a warjack. That's what it is. So it's a squad, it's an individual non-warcaster, a warcaster, and a warjack. That's like if you can play games at this level and actually have it be fun, I think that's huge. That's actually huge.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I said it should be. It should always just be a dude and his jack and then a unit with them. Maybe a special character. I bet you one thing, though, Steve, I will say this. I'm wondering if the units, so like for Signar, it's the Black 13th. Okay, those are the Alexander Hamiltons.
Yeah, the Black, they're I don't know how good they were, but when I was playing, the Black 13th were a really fucking strong unit.
Yeah.
They were basically like 40k assassins. They were a small unit of 40k assassins is what they were.
Yeah. And I don't know anything about the game, but I'm assuming that this unit of 3 is probably the minimum size of the unit that you could have.
No, that is the unit. It's just the 3.
I maybe, but I'm just saying in this version of the game.
Oh yeah, I guess I don't know because in the previous version of Warmachine, the Black 13th was 3 special characters.
Yeah. So
I'm this guy, and this guy.
Yeah, I don't know if necessarily that's going to be the same. Like the Hounds for the Kador, which are the guys with the shields. There's 3 of them. I don't know if they're going to, like, if that's it. Like, to me, that seems like the minimum amount of people that you would need for the unit.
Yeah, possible. And then they're probably going to do the thing with expansion units where you buy them in multiples. So if the unit is 3, it'll be like you buy them in 3s. So it'll be 3, 6, or 9.
Oh, what do you mean when you're buying them for the game?
Yeah.
Not necessarily buying them in the store.
Correct. Store, I have no idea about that.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, it's probably going to be like you buy a pack of 3 of them and you add them in.
Mhm.
I love that. So this is just a little slight tangent on that because I was thinking about this today as I was working on some D&D models. Is that I love that I'm looking at these alternative manufacturers for metal figures, right? I'm like,
Mhm.
I gotta buy some bullywugs, right? Not only because I need them for the game, but I like also saying bullywug. Who doesn't? But I'm like, oh, this pack only has 3 of them in there for like $8. I'm gonna need wait. I don't need to have more than like 3 bullywugs for my D&D game. I don't need to buy these massive units. I'm not playing Warhammer Fantasy with bullywugs.
But why not? You could.
I know that's exactly it.
Just think of your awesome bullywug army.
That's what that is my problem, Steve. That is why I have such issues.
because you start dreaming about that bullywug army.
It's literally because I start thinking in math and Warhammer math, and it's like Warhammer math is not real world math. Like, we should definitely not, encourage this. But yes, that's so that box set's getting released, and I'm with you. If that's like kind of the what's the word I want to look for on that? If that's like the be all end all of it, that's great. If that could be a playable game, that's great. That's not going to be the playable game though.
No, it's the answer is what is the difference in scale between that starter and what is a real playable game?
Yeah, and I'm with you on that. I think that it could be from anything from in my ideal view, it's probably less than 20 figs.
That would be great. Yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah,
I could see like you can go like the jack heavy version where you have 2 heavy jacks and that gives you less guys on the ground and then your warcaster, or then you have the 1 heavy jack, the 1 light jack that gets you more guys on the ground and then your warcaster. Like I could see it being like that, and that would be fine. Like, a little bit bigger, no big deal. It's like, but you do not want it to be like Warmachine First Edition where it's like, here's my single warjack and 80 infantry models.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody really wants that. That was always miserable. Like it's
terrible.
Especially when I'm playing like the old world now, when I'm going through armies and I'm looking at stuff, I really want to play an army that kind of suits what the army is. So what that means is that if I'm playing orcs and goblins, I want to have orcs and goblins in my army. If they're like, no, you can't play with actual orcs and goblins. That makes the army useless. You have to have trolls and only trolls. I'm like, I don't want that. That'd be a troll army. I don't want to play a troll army. I want to have orcs and goblins in my army.
Yeah, if I want to play a troll army, I'd play that chaos dude.
Yeah, exactly. If I want to, if I want to play
Frog, that's his name.
Frog. Yeah, I don't think he's in the new book, by the way. But just saying, it's like if I'm playing dwarves and I can only really win if I have like 6 gyrocopters, that's not a fun way to play a game. If I'm playing Warmachine hordes, I want there to be machines. I want to have a warjack.
Yeah, for sure.
And you were talking about like the switchable weapons and everything like that. It's like, that's fine, but I just want a warjack. Like that should be the centerpiece of the army, is a warjack. Like you should have to have a warjack per 500 points or whatever that they do. They do small points, so it's like per 10 points, it's like you need to have 1 warjack.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the whole thing, the thing that the entire appeal of the game was the dope war machines and the war machines themselves. The fucking game is named Warmachine, and for far more of the game's lifespan than less, they've been the weakest part in the game.
You're absolutely right, and that's always been a big pain in the ass about the game, or no, a big disappointment in the game is that reason in particular. It's like, well, what the hell am I supposed to do with these really cool robots that I like playing? And it's like they even made like grind as like a secondary game just so people could have something to do with their fucking warjack.
Yeah, it's true.
But anywho, it looks cool. Did they give a price tag on it yet, or no?
I didn't see a price point anywhere.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't see a price point when I was looking it up. But yeah, they just announced it. If this is more than $100, that'd be shocking. Because I guess Guild Ball wasn't expensive, but Guild Ball wasn't cheap either.
It is $100 exactly. I went to the price is on the Steamforge site.
Oh, there you go.
It is $99.99.
Why would I ever go to the place to actually look up any information when I could just have someone else tell it to me in a snippet and I have to wonder about other things?
Yeah, there you go. $99.99. So that is a good deal.
Now available this Christmas season. I don't know, when is it dropping?
It says I could buy it right now.
Oh, nice. So there you go. You could buy it right now.
Yeah. So it looks like looks like it's shipping right the fuck now.
Have they dropped anything else with the Warmachine, or is it a lot of the older stuff that's just still available? Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like all the old shit's still available.
Yeah, it's just older stuff, but like it is a vastly reduced.
Yeah,
because they basically bought the Redux Warmachine stuff. So like there's none of the, if you notice there's like none of the Horde stuff.
yeah. So and this is all of the stuff. The rules edition is like the last edition, correct? It's like
it is a new. No, it is a new. It is the current edition, which is a new edition. There was the new versions transferred over, and I see that there's Cricks again, which is cool.
Oh yeah, look at the Cricks with all their undead mechanisness.
Yes, I mean that's pretty dope because Cricks was that was like one of the biggest, most popular factions, and them being eliminated from the edition was pretty wild.
All right, kids, time out. I'm gonna pull a Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell here. What many people should figure out at this point, if you've been listening to this episode for 316 episodes or however long we're going, Steve will always say that whatever the undead army or closest to Nurgle army is the coolest and biggest and most popular one, because that is the army that he will inevitably play.
The Cricks was the most popular army, though. That's like, it's legit. No, Nurgle's never been the most popular.
No, but but here's the great thing about it is not enough people are still around who played Warmachine that can actually back up your facts, so you can say what you want.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think it had anything to do with the aesthetics, and probably had more to do with the fact that the Cricks were the most OP army in the game for the longest time as well.
Yeah, like someone's gonna write and go, Steve, that never happened except for like in 2007.
It's like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That for like a 3-month period in 2007.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Let's see, they still have mercenaries too. I always like the pirate faction. That was always cool to me.
Yeah, the pirates were cool, but the mercenaries are pretty dope. They got the cool like balloon guy.
Back when I was playing, it was like they don't even have the pigs and the gators anymore. They have a few, but
they're not factions anymore. Now they're just mercenaries.
Yeah, I did like those figures. I always thought those figures were really cool looking.
Mm.
But this, and here's something for you, Steve. Here's just your thought of the day. A lot of the old Warmachine figures now are gone. Like, so those molds don't exist anymore, or if they do, they were stolen by some Chinese guy. He's probably got it in his Kowloon Bay apartment building that's 80 stories tall and fits 100,000 people. They're sitting in one of those tenements. Using the old pigman one as an ashtray.
Sure.
For his asbestos filtered cigarettes.
Sure.
Yeah. So those figures don't exist anymore. You have no way of accessing them. All those cool pirate figures that I was talking about, no way of accessing them anymore, except on the secondary market. Now, this is an example of why we need to be scanning these models for the future. I mean, this is technically, I would consider a piece of art that it will now be lost.
Yeah, I mean, that's you're not wrong.
I mean, it's like when a TV show just disappears into the ether and no one can watch it. Like Third Rock from the Sun, a great TV show that just disappears like once every 4 years and then is gone for like a decade. And you're like, I want to watch Third Rock from the Sun. And they're like, good luck, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, good luck, moron. It's nowhere.
It's nowhere. Enjoy it. I'm glad you sold your Third Rock from the Sun DVDs. I'm like, I never had them. And they're like, that's exactly it. But aside from that was just my thought is like, you have these great figures that are now lost to history. Maybe someone will scan them at some point. I'm not saying that I have them, but I do know that I have seen a full collection of scanned Rackham minis.
Mm.
So all of the old Rack-A-Minis have been digitized, which is cool. I would never take that because that's illegal. But they do exist, and plus I have them all in metal. So what do I even need them in resin for?
Right.
It's not to mention the fact that Russians were, printing those out in resin for years anyway after Rackham went under.
And the more you know. Na, na, na.
All right. So that's about it with Warmachine, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's everything.
All right. So what's your next big story?
Let's see. This one's pretty old. It's like a few months old, but did you know that Wizards is doing a Dungeons and Dragons concept album for their 50th anniversary?
Oh, nice. No, I have not heard this.
Yeah, it's called Bardic Inspiration: A Musical Journey Through the Forgotten Realms. Being composed by Michael Gatt.
Michael Gatt.
Yes, yes, it is. And it's going to be released in vinyl.
Yes.
Dolby Atmos and digital formats. 12 tracks. Each one is supposed to represent a key location in the Forgotten Realms. So yeah, so there you go. So that's the thing for all you audiophiles out there.
Oh yeah, this is
like
an old. That is an old. Oh yeah, it's $50 for the double album. That's kind of, and the album cover sucks. What the hell, man?
Is the album cover bad?
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm just gonna be honest. One of the things with I can't even remember who had the headline up. It may have been Tabletop Gaming News when I was looking at it, but they were like, Wizards of the Coast releases this for their lackluster 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's absolutely right. This is a lackluster 50th anniversary. Every time someone says something like, this is getting released for the 50th anniversary, I'm like, ooh. And then I look at it and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it really is kind of feels like feels like an afterthought.
Feels like a wet fart. Like everything that comes out just yeah. I mean, one of the things that I was really excited about was when they were talking about Legos for Dungeons & Dragons Legos. They released the minifigs, which were awesome. They released a giant set for like $600, and that's it. I'm like, come on, there's like so much that you could do. I mean, let alone building a dungeon and or a dragon. Like neither of those are available.
Yeah, right.
Well, actually, there's a big dragon with the $600 set, but it's just like, come on. Like, what about a tavern? Or, just like a little scene in a dungeon, like, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could do like famous scenes like Journey Through the Underdark, or like a little set called the Underdark, and it comes with little Dritz and like his little, companions, his buddies, little panther. And then you could do the defeat of Vecna, and you could have a bunch of warriors in like the Vecna character.
That would be pretty dope. Yeah. I mean, you can actually have little scenario, 1-page shots to have like to play out the game in D&D.
Exactly. Like, Steve, do either of us work for WotC? No. But you know what we just did? We came up with ideas that are 10,000 times better than anything they've come up with. I honestly, I don't know, but Elon Musk wants to buy wants to buy Hasbro. Cares at this point. It's not like I'm not like saying like WotC's doing a great job, but it's just like, well, are they even doing a job?
Oh man, couldn't imagine someone who could run it into the ground faster though. But man, it would be funny.
I know, seriously, like no other man on this planet could probably run that down faster than Elon Musk.
Yeah,
like I also do love that like all these people come out and they're we like what Dungeons and Dragons is doing. It's like, no, you don't. No one likes what Hasbro is doing with Dungeons and Dragons. It's terrible. It's like the worst it's ever been. But it's not bad enough to like actually make any changes with it. It's just meh. It's like gruel. Like getting oatmeal. That's what it is. It's Dungeons and Dragons oatmeal is what it is. It's just like, yeah, some people like it, but it's like there's nothing to it. You don't get excited about oatmeal.
Yeah, No, I think that's pretty fair. Because I mean, I'm an oatmeal fan, but I don't like get up and like click my heels and go yippee oatmeal.
No, you eat oatmeal because you have to like in order to maintain your health. You want to be healthy, so you eat oatmeal. You don't eat oatmeal because it's like delicious oatmeal.
Well, I make my oatmeal pretty tasty, but yeah, not by itself.
Yeah, no, trust me. Anyone who says that they make oatmeal tasty, it's like that Parks and Rec segment where they're trying to make a burger and the guy's like, oh, this is a delicious burger with this type of cheese and the meat is turkey and it's seasoned like this way and this way, and the other guy goes, here's a hamburger, it's plain, add whatever you want on it, and everyone's like, oh no, the hamburger is much better. It's like, oh no, here's my oatmeal, it's made with these type of steel cut oats with butter and honey and cinnamon and everything else in between, and then the next person is like, here's an Egg McMuffin. Everyone's going to choose the Egg McMuffin.
I just like oatmeal, man. I don't know what to tell you. I think it's
no,
good.
I'm not saying you don't, but I'm saying the vast majority of this world, given the choice, would just be like, I'll take the Egg McMuffin.
Oh, the McMuffin.
Yeah. Because the Egg McMuffin, 1,000 times better.
I could go for that like charred black taste of a McDonald's coffee right now, though. That's for sure.
I actually like McDonald's coffee. I
do too. I like it. It's so McDonald's coffee.
I don't know. I like it. What I think I like about it? I think I like McDonald's cream better than anything else because they're whatever they do for their cream is like full fat, gonna kill you coffee cream, and it's awesome.
Got it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that they it's actually like probably got a shit ton of sugar in it and whatever else, but it is good.
Yeah, they got all sorts of Ronald's Secrets spices and hooks in there.
I know. I'm not a big. It's not like I ever go to McDonald's and I'm like, I want a coffee. But when I have to get a coffee from McDonald's, I'm like, damn, this coffee's good. Yeah. I mean, I usually 99% of the time make my coffee at home, but something about McDonald's coffee every once in a while when you get it, you're like, damn, this is some damn fine coffee.
You say, man, this hits. That's what the youths say.
That's what the youths say. This hits.
Yeah, they say this hits.
Yeah, stupid youths. What have they done?
The youths.
Not vote. That's what they've done.
The youths. Let's see what's the next thing. Oh, the war. Recently, the War of the Rohirrim, Lord of the Rings thing is up for pre-order, so you can pay for it now.
What is the price tag on that?
What is it? It is up for. Hold on, I got to make sure.
Come on, you can do this. You got this.
So, I have to make sure that I'm getting the right country's price because there's that classic thing where you click on it and it's like, oh no, it is. Hang on, War of the Rohirrim starter.
We got it right here, $220.
$220, which not bad. Not bad for the content.
No, I mean, so you're getting a lot of figures in it. Not a ton. You get the nice hardcover rulebook, which is nice. You get two pieces of you get two like plastic houses.
Yeah, the houses are really nice with some of the fences. You get the wood looking. I don't know if they're actually made of wood, but you get the wood looking rulers, which are really
those
nice.
are plastic. Those are the old. Those are the ones that they released in The Hobbit.
Oh, okay. They look really nice.
They are very nice. I have a set.
Yeah, so you get those rulers. Then you get two mounted characters, a whole bunch of characters on foot. I mean, it looks like a solid deal. Oh, and you get the terrain, or the table.
Yeah, you do get that little map. I'm wondering if though, like, is it cardboard or is it like a fold out map? I'm thinking it's a fold out map.
I think it's the board, like the board game tile material.
You think it's that tiled material?
It's the flimsy tile. You know what I'm talking about? Like where it's
the
tile. Yeah.
The reason I'm wondering about that is because I don't see any seams on it, so that's why I was thinking it was fold out.
I think the seams are just edited out of the picture.
That could very well be too. I mean, that would be false advertising. Fucking Games Workshop.
Because if it was a fold out, it would also be false advertising because you can't see any creases.
Well, you could always iron out creases.
Oh, you mean like if it's a plastic, but if it's like a mouse pad material?
No, I'm saying like if it's like an actual like just regular poster material, like heavier paper.
Well, dear listeners, if anyone gets the War of the Rohirrim starter set for the Lord of the Rings, please tell us
the Battle of Edoras, or not Battle of Edoras.
Yes, Battle of Edoras. Please tell us what this mat is.
Battle of Edoras.
would be appreciated.
It would be appreciated. I'm sure it actually says in the thing like you're getting this.
It's too late for that now. I've closed the window.
It's too late. You
And then,
fools.
and then and then also speaking of starter sets.
Wait. I wanted to talk a little bit more about this. Set,
go ahead.
because one of the things I absolutely love is that it's a classic set that really highlights the riders of the Rohan. You know, that army, the riders of Rohan that show all throughout the Lord of the Rings movies. And, you know, where they have that charge on their horses for the riders of Rohan. So you really get to use the riders of Rohan. Oh,
Yes.
wait. Not a single fucking horse in that box. Actually, there's 2 horses. But
Yeah.
but still, it's fucking stupid that they don't have any and they don't even have any of the writers available for pre-order, like any of the new ones that they're doing, because they did announce, I think, new writers, correct?
Yes. No,
Yeah.
it is very, very funny that that all of the infantry on both sides are on foot, or are infantry, I should say.
Yeah, it's just like, why would you do that? But it does contain, according to the website, 2 balanced armies, one good, one evil, led by powerful heroes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, that's to me, that's kind of obnoxious. Like, why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you just go ahead and not like just put some horses, just put some fucking horses in there, man.
Yeah, it's very weird. I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's a cool start. Like this thing, it's like thematics aside, it really does look like a great starter set. It is just very odd to have a Rohirrim starter set that doesn't have any cavalry.
Yeah, I don't.
It's weird. Like I totally agree with you. It's weird. I don't know what that's a very odd. It is a choice, and it is an odd one.
All right, so I'm looking at the terrain right now for the box set. It really does. I think it's the fold out thinner cardboard that they released with some of the boxes, and you get 2 of them, so you can make a or no, maybe it's not 2, maybe it's just flip sided. Yeah, I think it's flip sided.
Okay.
So I think it's that like thinner kind of cardboard that you've seen before.
Got it.
And it's double sided, but we'll see. I don't know, Steve. I'm gonna be all honest with you. It's very nice. It looks great. $220 is a lot of fucking money for it, though.
That's true. But I mean, you do get a lot in there.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're playing Lord of the Rings, you're gonna get it. It's like 100% up your
because like the biggest thing is like, yeah, it's like it's like somewhat of a cop out, but like obviously one of the biggest chunks of that is the book, because the hardcover book by itself is going to be $60 or $70, you know.
Yeah. And I also, unless also it's like one of those people who don't like the fact that they're making this movie, The War of the Rohirrim, where they're like, actually, it's terrible. It's going against lore. There's a girl. You know, the same people who are very upset about Rings of Power, essentially. Where it goes against lore. There's a girl. You know, the person who's going to end up getting taken out for assault because they pepper sprayed someone when they came up to their door.
Yes,
that happened really close to us, by the way. If you guys ever follow the news, that what's his name, Nick Fuentes, the right wing guy, who like put up the tweet of "My Body, My Choice," and then someone doxed him, and then people were going up to his door. He got charged with assault.
Yes. That's very funny.
Oh, you know, it's like the epitome of like, I'm fucking around. I'll never find out. Oh no, I'm finding out.
It's very humorous.
Yes. So there is that. It's humorous, except for the fact that he's probably going to be given a cabinet position. Let's be fair.
Yeah, it's still humorous.
It's humorous, but at the same time, it's kind of concerning humorous. Like,
It's the Steve Harvey meme.
Yes, exactly. I like it because of the meme potential, but I don't like it because people could die. Not just some people, a lot of people. But you know what? I do like that a lot of people are going to die, but it might be some people that I like. But I don't like that many people.
You gotta
keep, all kind of bounces out.
You got to keep doing the whole bit. That's good, That's bad. That's
Bad.
good. That's bad. The
Well,
Frogger-
it's the blonde girl meme where she's
the
like,
yogurt is
"Ah."
also cursed.
Well, yeah, no, it's the blonde girl going, no.
Oh, the
No.
kombucha drink. Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you. Also, kombucha is terrible.
I've had it once and I was not a fan.
Yeah, it's like, no, thank you. I'm not getting high off this, and what's the point?
Yeah, it was definitely really weird. I like the one. I mean, I know there's like a shit ton of versions of it. Don't come at me, kombucha stands. Because I know there's
No,
tons
you could come at me. I don't really care that much.
because there's like a ton of different versions, but the one I'd had was like it tasted like chemicals, like just really weirdly chemically. And it didn't taste good, but it didn't taste bad. It was just like, what is this? And I finished it, and I was like, I don't care to drink this again.
I don't care for this.
Yeah.
I think people that do care for this, I don't care for.
Yes, I don't care for this.
Yeah.
Starter set. There's the Mantic Kings of War 2-player starter set.
Ooh, I don't know this one. They got a lot of
yeah.
starter sets. I think we'll call this episode Starter Set.
Yes, pre-orders are out. This one is releasing in January. Now this one is on the counter side of what we were just discussing about, trying to justify our outrageous purchase for retail.
Outrageous.
We've got the battle
Is this the battle for Coral Gate?
Yes, this is the battle for Coral Gate. You get 74 miniatures. There's a 2-player starter. The factions you get they are the Abyssals, and then I think they're
the Tridents.
Yes, I can't remember what their proper name is.
The Trident Realm. The aquatic military of the Trident Realm.
The Trident Realm. Yes. Okay. Yes. Yeah. So the Fishmen. Yeah. So you get a pretty dope starting army of fishmen and a pretty dope starting army of demons. And they have they're a really nice mix of variety for a starter set. You've got are really balanced one, I'd say. So you got a block of basic infantry for each side. You've got mounted monstrous cav for each side. One is like these cool fish dudes on giant like frogs, and then the other ones are big snake like naga dudes.
Yeah.
And then you got an elite unit for each. So like one of them is it looks like an elite unit of like some kind of like frog commandos, and the other one are like bigger, kind of like big ass bloodthirsters. And then you get 2 heroes. It looks like the abyss one is a mage, and the fish one is a fucking giant dude with a huge ass club. So I'm gonna say he's probably a fighter.
And is this like a series that they're doing of just like, these are 2-player starter sets that we're putting out there? Coral Gate looks like it's like a fancy one. These other ones just kind of look like they're like, if I ordered this, I'm just going to get shipped this all in one, like a cardboard box. But yeah, Coral Gate looks like something for stores.
Yeah, no, this is for stores. This is an actual starter because it also comes with the full rule book and then the quick start guide, and like also this is a starter box to put on your store shelf to like get people to purchase and get into the game.
Yeah, I mean, like, because I'm looking at like some of the other 2-player sets that they have, which are cool, but they don't have the I'm putting this on the store shelf vibe to them. They're not.
Yeah, no, this is 100% that. Like, that's what this is. This is, you are starting, and these are actually good starter forces for both factions, because you can easily go in on this as a split and then just build up. Oh, and I forgot to mention the retail price for this is $130.
$130.
Yes.
Worth putting.
Yes, $130. So to just throw that into perspective for the last one, which I think came with a total of like 30 miniatures, was it total?
Yeah, I think it was. Well, no, it was more than that. I think it was like 40 to 50.
Okay, so 40 to 50 miniatures for $220. This one has 74 miniatures for $130.
Yeah, it's not surprising. Like, that's always been, the thing with Kings of War and Mantic is the affordable version of Games Workshop.
Yep, they really are.
I'm not the type of person that's like, Games Workshop stuff is the best. There's never going to be anything better. If you're an idiot, if you think that, I'm going to buy this just because, it's not Games Workshop. Why would I buy this? Mm-hmm. Like, that's not who I am. I think Games Workshop minis are great, and I think they technically are the best, if not, in the system. However, if I want to play a game and I have friends who want to play a game, and I'm young and I don't have a ton of money, this is the option to play with.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, actually, the option would be to 3D print your own army, but
Also
that's
true.
a lot of upfront upfront costs.
And then also learn teaching yourself how to do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But this is a good way without having to teach yourself how to use a 3D printer, buying a 3D printer, and then getting eventually poisoned to death by the fumes.
Yes.
Yes. For some people, that's an added benefit. For others, it's a takeaway, but whatever. Yeah. Here we are. Yeah, I mean that's really cool. I mean, we have three cool starter sets coming out right away, like all in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I am extraordinarily happy. Does Kings of War have a new edition, or is this just like a new starter set?
There is the newest
third.
Yeah, this starter set is third still, I believe, which is the current edition. But it's had one like semi update kind of thing.
I got a semi.
But yeah, I mean, but also the other big thing too with Kings of War right now is they've actually really gelled the factions. So like they're I think at this point the factions are more filled out than they've ever been before, because like one of the biggest issues with Kings of War before is there's a huge disparity like in between the inner game balance was all whacked out, because like this faction was just like way more complete than the other one was with the amount of like choices they had.
Absolutely.
And now that's really more spelled, because like the Forces of the Abyss were an army that was actually out in Kings of War for kind of a long time, but nobody ever played them because they didn't have any models. And then in addition to not having models, they only had like 2 or 3 like regiment choices, so they were like kind of like an afterthought, and they were like, well, I'm not touching this. Now they're actually an army. They have.
Well,
like,
I mean, I think it's also kind of important to remember. I mean, let's be honest. It's that Kings of War, though it has its own game, is really and was designed to be cheaper alternative models for Warhammer Fantasy.
Yes, of course.
It was never really intended to be its own game. The things that were its own game afterwards were like, it was like an afterthought. Like, well, we have all these models. Let's make our own game for it.
Mm-hmm.
And the game actually ended up being pretty good. Not great, but pretty good.
Yeah, the current edition is quite good from what I hear.
Yeah. I have not done anything with the new edition.
Yeah, my like I said, when I was playing, the biggest issue in the game was the internal balance of the game was really bad. The game itself was fine, but and what by that I mean is like your army would have like 12 choices, and you'd basically just take one of them.
And you just spam that one multiple times.
Yes, you just spend 100% of your points on that one choice because there was no reason to take anything else.
Yeah,
and that was a huge issue with the game. It was like that was like because of the way combat worked, and because like, you know, if you've ever played the old Warhammer, there was combat resolution where like theoretically worse troops can beat better troops if you outmaneuver. Like if you hit a flank or a rear charge, you know, you negate the other person's rank. So even if their troops kind of beat your ass in the fight, in theory, at the end of the fight, your combat resolution will get those extra bonuses, like them not having the rank bonuses, you getting a +2 for being in the rear, this and that will give you the win and give you the chance to have their unit break and run from combat because of your superior maneuvering. When I was playing in Kings of War, the problem with that is that the way combat resolution worked in Kings of War was it was just numbers. So it was whatever damage that one side did plus whatever damage one side did, and then the maneuvering bonus got you extra attacks. And so if you hit someone in the rear, your attacks were tripled, which sounds really good, except units in Kings of War had such a huge disparity in power level. Tripled attacks from a block of skeletons against the full plate paladin dudes from the Angel army, literally irrelevant. Yeah. Like does not matter, because it's like it's 6s and 6s and the paladins need 2s to save. So it's just like That's never going to matter. And then when the paladins strike back, they need 2s to hit and 2s to wound, and it's just and they're rolling just an absolute shit ton of dice. So taking bad units to use as the only thing you ever took bad units for was to be actual roadblocks, just something that had to be killed before it moved. But there was never using worse troops to beat better troops really in the game, which was unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of I'm listening to what you were talking about with the game and kind of thinking about man, I wish I'm looking at the battle for Coral Gate, and it's you get 3 units and a hero. I kind of wish there was just a game that was I'm just taking 3 blocks of troops and a hero, and that's it. That's what the whole game should be. Kind of consider it a throwback to 5th or 4th ed, but you are limited to just 3 units. You can't have any more. You can't have any less. Right? And so and if you want to have a bigger game, you got to add more people to those units.
I think what game. I'm pretty sure what game that was. I think that was the Rune Wars game.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think that was the Rune Wars minis game.
Yeah, and I would like it if it was just all right, this is a hammer, a anvil, or a a hammer, anvil, or a fast unit, right? That's the only 3 things. Each unit. This is a hammer unit. This is an anvil unit. This is a fast unit. You could take 3 fast unit. You could take 3 hammers. You could take 3 anvils. But you know what? Your unit is either good at one of these 3 things.
Mm-hmm.
So your army, you depended on that way. You have a hero. The hero can augment the units in whatever way possible, but you only get 3 fucking units. That's it. I don't know. I feel like that's very old man of me to want to play that.
It is.
Yeah, it's I feel like I should be playing Dibellus Antiquus or something like that. or Dux Bellorum or whatever that those games are.
Yeah, or one that's just a very specific timeline of in Greece, this the just Trojan War.
Yeah. No, I feel it's more of this would be a rule book that you would find at a miniatures auction that's literally just a pamphlet that's stapled together. That's that people swear by the rules.
Yeah. No, these rules are great. Trust us. Trust.
Yeah, exactly. What the hell's that game? That stupid game. A very British Civil War. Those. That game has always intrigued me because of how quaint and silly it is. But on the other hand, there's so much for it, rules and minis wise. I'm how do enough people play this game that necessitate all this stuff?
Yeah, it's pretty great.
I guess maybe whatever, but yeah, I was thinking I want a small game that's more like Hero Hammer 5th ed than anything else, but it's capped. It's no, you can't have 5 units. You want to have 4 units? Nope, you can only have 3 units.
I mean, I think the old world is kind of shaking out to be like that. To be honest with you,
it kind of is.
That is kind of the game the old world is shaking out to be.
Yeah, I've not. It's not unusual for Games Workshop to have a game where you need to fix some stuff. It's you need to fix stuff. It's not super urgent to fix stuff, but your game's becoming kind of stagnant in the way that you can build an army to win, sort of thing. I mean, trust me, I don't build armies to win, but I enjoy winning. That's the best way I could say. Most gamers don't necessarily want to win every time, but people like winning and don't want to have an army that's going to lose every time.
Right, exactly. You don't want either. You want to have the possibility to win, the possibility to lose, because there's no point. If you're going to win every time, who cares? There's no reason to play. And if you're going to lose every time, who cares? There's no reason to play.
Exactly.
If there's no possibility of it going in an unexpected manner, you don't want to play the game.
Yeah, and so you have these wonderful figures and armies that you can, and figures that you'll never use because no one in their right mind would ever spend the points on them, like the Chaos Hell Cannon. It's terrible in this edition. Why would I ever take a Hell Cannon? Things like that. And it's you can make it usable. How, you ask? Just make it cheap, point cost wise.
It's a lot of times that is simply the fix. Just make it cheaper.
Yeah, Chaos Knights are fucking awesome. They're expensive. You could make them more expensive, or you could just make the other stuff that's not as good cheaper. And then guess what? You're selling more shit because this stuff that wasn't as good is now cheaper. But you and I both know, and we've talked about this before, Games Workshop never fucks with points.
No, they do not want to fuck with points.
Yeah, they will change the entire fucking structure of their game, but never touch the point levels.
They mess with points with Age of Sigmar a lot. That was like that's the game where they definitely would do points.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, Age of Sigmar was the points game for sure. Like every single General's Compendium, they would adjust points.
Yes, that was true that they would do that, but that was back when they weren't putting points in the army books. Now the points are in the army books.
Yeah, they're still going to keep because this is the new edition. So I guess we don't know because I don't think they've done a General's Handbook. You are
correct.
But I believe the intention they're still going to be doing the same thing with General's Handbook. So they will be doing points adjustments from what I have heard. That seems to be the case, but they haven't done one yet. So I guess we don't technically know.
Yeah, we don't have it yet.
We don't technically know, not just yet.
I just fucked up a print that I was working on.
It's all over.
It's all ogre. No, I was working on some bases for some Dungeons and Dragons minis, and I forgot to take them off the plate before I started to print the new thing. So I fucked up. I fucked up big time.
It's over.
Yeah, I do. Have you seen the bases that I've been making for my D&D minis that have the Game Classy logo on them?
Yeah, I saw. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I was like, oh, these are fun. I enjoy it. Yeah, I have been going back. So, we finally finished chapter 4 of Tyranny of Dragons. We're on to chapter 5. Mm-hmm. I'm doing something incredibly stupid for it. I am building a full 1-to-1 3D square map of kind of the play area.
Okay.
Which is, a roadhouse. I am building this. I'm making it in 3D with my 3D printer. It's gigantic. I kind of regret starting this project, but I'm too far in to stop at this point.
The sunk cost fallacy is in.
I don't think it's necessarily sunk cost, but yes, there's a little bit of that where it's just like, well, I'm halfway in. I might as well just finish it. It's like the thing with sunk cost is like where it will spiral out of control and you just keep going with it because you're like, well, I've already invested. This isn't getting out of control. It's just that this is way bigger than I anticipated it being. Not that it's not like ridiculously out of control. It's just big. So I've also been, while printing that stuff out, I've been like going and painting nicely a bunch of old D&D metal figures that I've had from Reaper or Redbox, just stuff that I've had that I've never really had an opportunity to paint, and doing that stuff. And that's been a lot of fun, but I've been, printing my own bases to save money. And I definitely enjoy having the Game Classy logo on the bottom. It's a nice FU to anybody who buys my figures after death, I would say. Nice. When I eventually die. So did you have any other gaming related news?
That was it. That was the last one.
Oh yeah, so that's some good ones. Yeah, I didn't have any gaming news outside of just the Warmachine, Warmahordes, and the Elon Musk wanting to buy Hasbro. So that kind of went away, though. I mean, all I'm saying is that we live in a world right now where CEOs are getting shot in the street. That's all I'm putting out there.
That's what I heard.
Once again, Game Classy does not represent the.
That's just stating an event that happened. There's nothing to do with anything else.
Nothing to do with anything else. All I'm saying is that a CEO is shot dead in the middle of the street, and no one really cares.
That is what I've seen as well.
However, I do think it's really funny, the media's attention to it, where everyone's like, "This is such a bad thing," and people are like,
"Are you sure about that?
Are you sure about that?"
The Tim Robbins. Are you sure about that?
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure about that? Really? Yeah. You sure about that?
I do like seeing like the It doesn't happen that often because I feel like my blogosphere that the bubble that I'm contained in has a lot of similar opinions of people who are just like, you sure about that? But I wonder if if there's like more people who actually are like, oh, that's such a senseless act of violence. Such a senseless act of violence.
It's just such a senseless act.
Yes. Like, no, there's some sense to it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could find at least 2 cents to rub together in this one.
Yeah, exactly. It's it's like what I wanted to see was wanted to see some more right-wing people coming out and being like, well, where's the call for gun control at this point? That sort of thing.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah. No, this is technically what I would call gun control. So yeah, it's we'll see. We'll see. I do like in the latest news of this is as we're recording on this Sunday, they found his backpack and it was filled with Monopoly money.
Nice.
Which is like, I'm wondering, like, what was he saying? Like, what was the point of that statement? Like, it's I get what you're saying. I get that you're trying to make a point here, Mysterious Gunman, but what is this saying? There's certain things that I love about it. I love that he doesn't have a manifesto. I love that he's not like taunting the police and shit like that. Like he did his act and he disappeared. And like the pictures of him that everyone's showing has like 3 different coats. Like he didn't bring 3 different coats to New York City. He did
the stand-up equivalent of a tight 10.
I mean, he did a tight 10, tight 5.
Yeah, tight 5.
Yeah, but that's like the thing is like he's either like a super John Wick style assassin where he has multiple coats, or the rich in the media doesn't really understand that poor people only have usually 1 coat. Like that's the point I'm trying to make on this whole thing. We're not out there wearing multiple coats, people. I'm lucky because I have 2 coats.
I actually don't currently own a coat.
And that's the thing is I don't generally wear a coat because I'm only ever going from like my house to my car to my work, and I'm outside for all of 3 minutes. So why would I wear a coat?
Yeah.
Not even 3 minutes, like 30 seconds from getting my car to my office. That's about it.
I got gloves and I got like a separate hooded thing. So if I double down, if I wear my thermals underneath a sweatsuit, I'm basically as warm as it's going to possibly get. So I really don't need a coat.
Yeah, it's like I only have 30 seconds and a hoodie for my 30 seconds outside. That's all I need.
Yeah.
It's just so bizarre to me that like the media attention to this, where everyone is literally going like, nah. I was just talking the other day. It's like, and people are talking about like how Law and Order can't wait to make this a new episode. I can't, like, that's going to be a fantastic episode, except it's like you need Lenny Briscoe and Hank McCoy to come, not Hank McCoy, but Jack McCoy to come back just to do this episode where you have Lenny Briscoe who tracks him down, and McCoy's like, how are you ever going to find me a jury in the state of New York who's going to convict this guy? That sort of thing.
Yeah, it'd be good stuff.
When Lenny Briscoe mysteriously loses the evidence because, his mother had her healthcare denied by United.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's just such a bizarre fucking case. Like, how can you try this guy? You can't try this guy unless it turns out that he's like a neo-Nazi. Like, that's about it. That's the only way you're going to get a conviction. It's because the jury's going to go, I approve of the CEO killing, but I'm against his minority hating. What's going to be stronger in American opinion, Steve? Killing CEOs or killing off what's it called? Minorities.
I don't know. We'd have to wait and see. We'd have to wait and see what would happen.
That's a tough one because America is super racist. So let's just we
don't know. I think America is the most confused country in the world. I think that's what I think America is.
Is it just going through a phase? Is that what you're saying?
No, not even going through a phase. I think it literally just has no idea what the fuck it's doing.
Oh, so it's like I'm thinking like like what a parent would say to a kid, where you're like, oh, you're just confused.
No, yeah, no, I'm not
You're
saying
going
like
through a phase.
no, I'm not saying like you're confused. You're going through a phase, and I know the way you're gonna have. No, I think it's literally like a third. I don't know what I'm doing.
Hey. I may have a third grade education, but I have a right to vote too.
Yeah, so I think it's more like
No,
that.
you don't have a third grade education. You failed third grade. But I was in third grade, but you didn't pass. So you don't technically have a third grade education.
I was there.
Yeah.
I was there.
I was there. I should have got the credit. That teacher was against me just because I smeared my feces all over the wall.
It was only one time. It was only one time.
It was only one time. I got confused.
I got confused.
My poo didn't go in the toilet, so I didn't know what to do.
That's good.
And now he's our Secretary of Defense.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Good times. Good times. All right. So, if do we have anything else that we want to talk about?
No, that's it, man. I'm out.
You're out. Do you want to talk about how I just watched Hundreds of Beavers?
No, what the fuck is Hundreds of Beavers?
It's this movie that everybody's been talking about. It's technically considered a horror movie.
Okay.
It's very, very low budget. And by that I mean, I think it costs probably less than, I don't know, $30.
Jesus. Okay.
I'm looking here. Its budget was $150,000.
I don't. All right.
It's a guy. His what's his name? Not Mike Chesnick. Cheslick. It's Mike Cheslick. He's from Milwaukee. He made this movie. It's a slapstick comedy, but it's also a horror movie, and it's about a guy who's fighting off a bunch of beavers, and it's all in black and white, and the beavers are actually people in like beaver costumes and like mascot beaver costumes, and all of the animals in there are people in like furry costumes or mascot costumes. It's an actual movie that got released. It's 90 minutes, was released in the theaters, streaming, and people are talking about it, Steve.
I hate it.
So I watched his first movie, which is called Lake Michigan Monster, which it's funny, but it's also very, very weird. I don't know. Some people really liked this movie. It's not my thing. If I had watched this when I was 24 years old, I would like it very much.
I see.
Watching it at 43 years old, I don't like it.
I see.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind. That was the last movie that I had watched. The guy, there's Matt Zoller, do you know who Matt Zoller is?
No.
A movie critic, pretty, I wouldn't say famous, but he's a pretty big movie critic. Compared it to Eraserhead, El Mariachi, or the films of Wes Anderson.
That sounds ridiculous.
Yeah. I would not compare it to any of those movies, especially not like Eraserhead.
Very good.
This movie's like Eraserhead if Eraserhead had, I don't know, lead poisoning. But anyway, yeah, so I watched Hundreds of Beavers, mainly because of its locality, because it was all filmed in Wisconsin. I was like, that's close enough to Chicago. But then it just reminds me of how dumb people are from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, that's the only other thing I have. So go to the Game Classy Facebook page. It's the best way to find the link to the Game Classy Discord, where we all talk and congregate and hold hands and occasionally share nudes, but never share unsolicited nudes.
That's
you
true.
Always solicit the nudes.
That's right. They must be solicited.
They must be solicited. That's why I specifically don't have a sign on my front door that says no solicitors.
See?
Because I solicit nudes.
See? Exactly.
And yes, the best way you can help out the podcast is like, subscribe on the iTunes, or you could like, comment, and subscribe on the YouTubes. Did I say iTunes or did I say Twitter?
You said YouTubes.
Okay, I said YouTubes. Yeah, on the iTunes and the YouTubes. So that way we can somehow get stuff out there. Listen, guys, we've put out 316 of them. If we haven't found anything more, if we haven't found breakout success, yes, we're not finding it anytime soon. We're doing this for you, our dedicated listeners. and people who like to hate listen.
Yeah.
Or people who just like to have us on in the background is some sort of background noise, so that way they don't feel super lonely while they're painting.
That's true. I am a big fan of the background noise.
You there, who's painting your figure right now? I see you painting that goblin. You're doing a good job. You know, other people might not like your goblin and might think that your lines are blotchy. You know, you don't really know how to do eyes. That you're using craft paint. You know, that you're using a brush that's designed for watercolor. You know, and not like regular watercolor, but those watercolor books that you buy in the store for 99 cents that give you like the paint on the page that you have to get it wet. And then, you know, you paint it on there, or perhaps a little plastic thing that contains the paint that you have to get wet. But yeah, you keep doing what you're doing. Don't even prime the figure. Don't even worry about that. You don't need to prime that figure.
Just set it all over with some Devlin mud and it'll be fine.
Yeah. Just dip it in some wood stain and you're fine.
Yeah.
You're all good.
Yeah.
So you know what? You keep on keeping on. If you want to see more of my stuff, you can go to @GameClassyJoe on Instagram. If you want to see more of Steve's stuff, he's on Blue Sky @CommandThrow.
That's right, Mr. Blue Sky. That's me.
He was doing Blue Sky before it was cool.
It's true.
Before it became the liberal alternative to X.
That's true. I was there before that.
And now Steve's got to find something else because he can't be considered a liberal.
It's going to be all over.
It's all over now. It's you and AOC. You're both on that Blue Sky.
It's all over for me.
You're the king and queen of the liberal media at this point.
Well, she is pretty hot, so I mean that's kind of cool.
Yeah, you're hanging out on a boat with Rachel Maddow. It's all one big thing. I want to hang out with the governor of Illinois, though. I would hang out with JB.
JB Pritz. Yeah, he looks like he could grill a mean burger.
Me and JB just hanging out and going to Chicago restaurants.
Grilling.
I would be so happy.
You got to be grilling.
Yeah, we could grill, but I would rather go with him to like Fatso's Last Stand to get a cheeseburger that's got cheese on the inside of the meat.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
That's what I want. That's what I want to do with JB. I want to go around and find out where JB's favorite Italian beef is. That's what I want to do.
He's a Johnny's beef guy, no question.
Yeah, he's the governor of Illinois, so technically he could go for Johnny's.
Yeah, he's a Johnny's beef guy, 100%.
Yeah, I mean Johnny's is fine. It's fine.
It is fine. I got nothing against Johnny's. I like Johnny's, but I'm saying he's definitely a Johnny's beef guy, no question.
Yeah, I love that Chicago is the land of second best food in the nation.
It's true.
Yeah, no matter where you go, it's like
we are the second city.
Whatever you want, Chicago has the second best version of it in the United States.
That's true.
Like you want a pizza, Chicago's got the second best pizza in the United States.
That's right.
Because I don't know if I said this on the podcast though, Steve. So if I have, excuse me, but I have been eating New York style pizza like crazy, and it's so much better than Chicago style. And what I mean is Chicago style, tavern style, not deep dish. Deep dish is fine. It's just not something that we eat on a regular basis out here.
Right.
But man, New York style slices, they're real good.
Them
they're
slices.
Real good, Steve. Holy shit.
Them thin crusts, them triangle slices. Oh yeah.
It's just so good. There's a place actually not too far from where we live called Pie Life.
Mm-hmm.
Right on Roosevelt, and I know you're not real big on the pizza anymore, but man, it's fucking good.
Yeah. Pie Life. Well, maybe I'll make a special exception.
Yeah, they have a Sicilian style. This is not New York style. This is like a New Jersey Sicilian style.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a vodka pizza. Holy shit, man! Fucking changed my life. You know how some people, it's like in the movie Garden State where she's like, you ever heard of the Shins? This will change your life. Mm-hmm. And then he plays cold teeth for him. Like that's what me is, but with like food. Someone will go like, you never eat, this New York style pizza? No, it'll change your life, man. Sorry. I'm sorry, everyone from Chicago. You could take my Chicago card away from me. I'm fine with it.
The Pie Life.
I've given up because this pizza is so much better than any of the garbage that I've had lately.
That's funny.
Tavern style pizza, it's fine, but you bite into it if you got sausage on it, and then the whole cheese comes off the top of it.
I mean, you know what? Even before I stopped eating meat, I never liked sausage pizza. It was always so greasy, and it was always such a slop fest every time.
Yeah, I mean it's a thing. But yeah, everything else in Chicago though, it's second best. You know what I will say? I will say the Chicago style hot dog, out of any style hot dog I've ever had, is probably my favorite style hot dog.
Yeah, I think Chicago's got the best hot dog. I'd give that to Chicago for sure.
I've had a lot of different hot dogs, and coney dogs. I've had chili cheese dogs, which I do love a chili cheese dog. Don't get me wrong.
And I had the one with the corn on it, the Albuquerque dog or whatever it is.
I've had Southwest dogs.
Yeah.
I've had a New York style with the kraut and the mustard and all of that stuff.
Mhm.
Chicago style, the best hot dog for your money.
Yeah.
It's a little expensive nowadays because it's going to be about $4 for a hot dog, which is a lot of money. Trust me. It's still fantastic hot dog for $4.
Yeah.
Yeah. But aside from that, Steve, until next time.
Remember that Weird Al had a TV show?
Oh, LTV?
Yeah, LTV. It's so fucking weird, man. No. The Weird Al show.
Oh, the Weird Al show. Okay, yeah, I remember the Weird Al show.
Yeah. Remember that? That was weird.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Weird Al is one of those guys that's just like he can do no wrong.
He's just always there, huh?
Yeah, always there. Later.
Later.
Game classy.